This is lesson 8.1, ratios. We'll start with a couple of vocabulary terms. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers, and two ratios are equivalent ratios when they have the same value. So make sure you copy these two vocabulary terms down before you proceed on. A ratio is a comparison of two different items. It can be written in three different ways. If Susan has 3 cats and John has 4 dogs, we can write it in these ways, which first is 3 to 4, or 3:4, which is also read 3 to 4, or also 3 over 4, which is 3 to 4. So there's 3 different ways you can write ratio. Write the ratio of burgers to chips in 3 different ways. Okay, let's do that. Again, make sure your ratios, whatever comes first on your ratio. So burgers is first here, and then chips, so it's burgers first. There's 4 of those. Okay, so 4, and then 2, 4, 6 chips, so it's 4 to 6, which can be simplified to 2/3. So writing it 3 different ways: 2 to 3, 2 to 3, 2 to 3. There's your 3 different ways of writing it. Now let's do it the other way. It says write the ratio of chips to burgers in 3 different ways. So we know with it's 6 to 4 now, which just simplifies to 3 to 2. So that would be 3 to 2, 3 to 2, and 3 to 2. There's your 3 different ways of writing the ratio of chips to burgers. Next, what is the ratio of ladybugs to butterflies? Write the answer in the A:B form. Okay, so again, ladybugs comes first, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. We want to do it in colon form, so then there's 3 butterflies. So your ratio is 5 to 3. Next, what is the ratio of soccer balls to footballs? So again, soccer balls comes first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. And there's 4 footballs, so 8 to 4. Again, it can be simplified. You divide them both by 2, you end up with, or divide them both by 4, you get 2 to 1, which would be C in this case. Again, you have to put them in the correct order or it would be wrong. Soccer balls to footballs in this case. Now amusement parks. Here's a word problem we'll work out. It says you wait in line for 1.5 hours to ride a roller coaster. The ride lasts 2 minutes. What is the ratio of time spent in line to time spent on the ride? So time spent in line first is 1.5 hours. And time spent on the ride is 2 minutes. When you're doing ratios, you must have them in the same units. So we need to convert hours to minutes here. So you know 1 hour is 60 minutes. And then half an hour is 30 minutes. So that leaves us with 90 minutes. So now our ratio is 90 to 2. Which we can both divide by 2 and end up with the ratio of 45 to 1 of time spent in line to time spent on the ride. So there's your ratio of 45 to 1. Next, this is according to the table, who has the greater ratio of rock CDs to pop CDs, Lewis or Anna? So let's look at our 2 ratios, rock CDs to pop CDs. Rock and pop. So Lewis from rock to pop has 9 to 24, and Anna has the ratio of 28 to 70. So a couple of ways you can do this. You could top dog both of these and make them decimals and convert it that way, or you can cross multiply. I think I'd rather do it that way. 70 times 9 is 630. 24 times 28. That's 32, 16, and 3 is 19, 8, 4, 2, 9 and 8 is 17, 672. Okay, so we know the greater ratio would be 28 to 70 because 672 is larger than 630. So that would be Anna has the greater ratio of rock CDs to pop CDs. And we'll We'll work a couple more examples here. We want to write these ratios in order from least to greatest. So I'd rather put them in this form. They work a little bit easier for me. Then we'll put them back when we need to. If we cross multiply here, we've got 20, we've got 18, so we know 6 over 5 is smaller than 4/3. We'll compare it to, well, obviously 11 over 9 is going to be our, well, let's compare them and see. You've got 54 here, you've got 55 there, so 6/5. Okay, so 6/5 is first. Now let's compare 11/9 and 4/3. That's 33, that's 36, so 11/9 would come next, and followed by 4/3. Now they've got them in order from least to greatest. And last, find the value of x that makes the two ratios equivalent. Again, I would put them in fraction form. And the way to find out what x is, you could say 6 times what is 24, that's 4. So what times 4 is 20, that is 5. So we know that x equals 5 to make the two ratios equivalent. And you know they're equivalent if you cross multiply and you get the same number, which we've done before. So that concludes our lesson on ratios.